Hey everyone, and welcome back to the True Alien Podcast. You know, the show where we dig into the craziest, most unbelievable alien encounters out there. I'm Adrian Smith, and I am so pumped to be your guide as we try to separate fact from fiction in the world of extraterrestrials, UFOs, Bigfoot, and all things paranormal. Today we're launching a special paranormal probe into a mystery that'll send chills down your spine. The Pioneer Echoes. Picture this as a secluded cabin in Siberia, a murdered scientist, and a message scrawled in blood, Pioneer 10. It's like something straight out of a horror movie, but this story has roots in real-world science, specifically the Pioneer Anomaly. Joining me to untangle this web of mystery is Julia Jones. Welcome to the show, Julia.
Thanks for having me, Adrian. I'm always up for a good paranormal puzzle, and this one sounds particularly intriguing.
Let's break it down for our listeners.
Yeah.
Julia, this Pioneer Anomaly, it's not just some made-up sci-fi mumbo-jumbo, is it?
Not at all. The Pioneer Anomaly refers to a strange deviation in the trajectories of both the Pioneer 10 and 11 spacecraft. It's a scientific head-scratcher that's baffled experts for decades. Think of it like this. You throw a ball expecting it to go in a straight line, but it inexplicably veers off course.
Okay, so we've got a mysterious death, a message referencing a real space puzzle, and now this creepy connection to the Pioneer Anomaly. What's the big question we're tackling here?
The question haunting us is this. Did Dr. Karen Smith, our murdered scientist, uncover something sinister related to the Pioneer Anomaly? Did her research lead to a groundbreaking discovery or something far more terrifying?
So who was this Dr. Karen Smith? What made her tick?
From what we gather, Dr. Smith was a brilliant but reclusive scientist obsessed with the Pioneer Anomaly. She was respected in the scientific community but chose isolation in the Siberian wilderness over the academic world. Imagine her holed up in that cabin, poring over data, driven by a relentless pursuit of answers.
And it was in that isolated cabin that she met her end. Let's talk about Lex Kovalev, the paranormal investigator called to the scene. He's not your typical Ghostbuster, is he?
No. Lex is a pragmatist, a man of logic, who's seen his share of darkness. He doesn't jump to conclusions and demands tangible evidence. But something tells me this case is going to challenge his skepticism.
Adding another layer to this puzzle is Dr. Smith's associate, Zara Abadi, an astrophysicist. I imagine she initially approached this case with a healthy dose of skepticism as well.
Absolutely. Zara is a woman of science and reason. She's not easily swayed by spooky stories or paranormal claims. But the evidence in this case, the sheer strangeness of it all, starts to chip away at her rational worldview.
Julia, paint us a picture of the crime scene. What did investigators find at Dr. Smith's cabin?
Picture a scene of chaos, furniture, overturned research papers scattered everywhere, and an eerie stillness hanging in the air. It was clear a struggle had taken place. And that blood-red message, Pioneer 10, on the wall, it's a detail that sends shivers down your spine.
It's like something straight out of a nightmare. As they find this cryptic message, what happens next? Where does their investigation lead them?
Lex and Zara dive headfirst into Dr. Smith's research, hoping to find a clue and explanation. They unearth encrypted files, calculations detailing bizarre orbits, and frantic warnings scribbled throughout her notes. It becomes clear that Dr. Smith believed something was coming, something dangerous.
And then things take a terrifying turn right. What was the first sign that Dr. Smith's fears might have been justified?
The discovery in the nearest city was horrifying. Imagine this, bodies lying in the streets seemingly drained of all moisture, their flesh withered and pale. It was a gruesome scene that mirrored the state of Dr. Smith's body.
And this is where the creatures enter the picture. But we're not talking about your typical little green men, are we?
Not even close. Witnesses described terrifying beings with withered flesh, their movements jerky and unnatural. And get this, they were wearing Soviet-era cosmonaut uniforms.
Soviet cosmonaut uniforms.
Yeah.
That's a chilling detail. What did Lex and Zara make of these things?
Their first encounter was pure chaos and terror. Lex, in a moment of desperation, uses holy water against one of the creatures. It was a shot in the dark, but to everyone's surprise, it actually had an effect. The creature recoiled, its flesh sizzling where the water touched it.
So holy water burns them but doesn't kill them. That's even more unsettling. And what about Zara? How did she react?
She's a woman of action, Adrian. She doesn't hesitate. She grabs some Molotov cocktails and sets the creature ablaze. It was a desperate fight for survival, and they barely escaped with their lives.
Molotov cocktails. It sounds like something out of an action movie. They realized they needed help, right?
That's where Father Grigori comes in.
Exactly. Seeking answers and guidance, they turned to Father Grigori, a reclusive monk living in a remote monastery. We have a paranormal investigator, an astrophysicist, and now a monk. Talk about an unlikely team.
It's a clash of worldviews. What did Father Grigori make of these creatures? Did he have an explanation? He did. He identified them as Dybbuk, malicious spirits from Jewish folklore believed to be the dislocated souls of the dead. He believes they're drawn to Earth by conflict and human suffering, suggesting that the Cold War, with all its tension and fear, might have inadvertently opened a doorway for these entities.
So not aliens, but malevolent spirits from another realm drawn to Earth by our own conflicts. That's a chilling thought. But how does this tie back to the Pioneer Anomaly?
That's where things get really interesting. Remember those strange orbits and signals Dr. Smith was tracking? They lead to a massive satellite dish hidden in a remote mountain pass.
Yes, satellite dish. What does a satellite dish have to do with Dybbuk?
Father Grigory believes it's acting as a beacon, drawing more of these entities to Earth. He thinks Dr. Smith inadvertently opened a cosmic doorway with her research.
Hold on, I need a moment to process this. So we've got these malevolent spirits possibly drawn to Earth during the Cold War, and now this giant satellite dish is amplifying their arrival. It sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It is. Lex Zara and Father Grigory realize they have to destroy the dish before it attracts more Dybbuk to Earth. They know it's a suicide mission, but they have no other choice.
This is incredible. We've got a paranormal investigator, an astrophysicist, and a monk teaming up to fight off demonic invaders drawn to Earth by a scientific anomaly. It's a story that blurs the lines between science faith and the paranormal.
It certainly challenges our understanding of the universe and the forces at play within it.
This is where things get really intense, folks. We'll be back with part 2 of our paranormal probe into the Pioneer Echoes, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the True Alien Podcast, folks. We're in the thick of our paranormal probe into the Pioneer Echoes, and the tension is building. Julia, before the break, we left our unlikely trio facing a seemingly impossible task: destroying a giant satellite dish that's become a beacon for these terrifying Dybbuk.
It's a David and Goliath scenario, Adrian. You have this small, determined group going up against a force that seems, well, unstoppable. They're facing hordes of creatures driven by a hunger for life force, and their only hope is to overload the dish's systems and blow the whole thing sky high.
They're literally playing with fire.
Yeah.
What's their plan of attack?
Desperate times call for desperate measures, Adrian. Their plan is risky and relies heavily on each of their unique strengths. Lex, with his combat experience, leads the charge, becoming the tip of the spear against the Dybbuk.
He's going up against these creatures head-on. That takes guts.
He's got no other choice. Meanwhile, Father Grigory, armed with his faith and ancient rituals, acts as a spiritual shield, trying to hold back the tide of evil with sheer willpower. And then there's Zara, the brilliant astrophysicist. She's the key to this whole operation because she has to figure out how to overload the dish's systems and trigger the explosion.
It's like a three-pronged attack against pure evil.
Right.
Walk us through the confrontation, Julie. What happens when they breach the facility?
It's pure chaos. Imagine Lex, armed with blessed daggers, fighting his way through hordes of these desiccated cosmonaut creatures. Every step he takes is a struggle. Every kill, a heavy burden on his soul. He's facing a relentless tide of these things, and the sheer number of them is overwhelming.
What about Father Grigory? Can faith truly stand against such darkness?
Picture him standing in the midst of this chaos, his voice echoing through the facility as he chants ancient incantations, his faith his only weapon. He's weaving barriers of holy light, trying to shield himself and his companions from the onslaught. It's a testament to the power of belief in the face of the unimaginable.
And while this is happening, Zara is racing against time to rig the dish to explode.
Exactly. She's navigating a maze of wires and control panels, desperate to find the right combination to trigger the overload. The pressure is immense. The stakes couldn't be higher.
It's a heart-stopping scenario. Did they manage to pull it off?
It's a brutal, desperate fight, Adrian. Lex confronts one of the Dybbuk leaders, a monstrous entity radiating pure malevolence. It's a battle he almost loses, but just as the creature is about to deliver the final blow, Zara, in a moment of pure brilliance, manages to trigger the overload.
They did it. They actually blew the dish. What happened next?
The explosion is catastrophic. It rips through the facility, sending shockwaves across the entire valley. The force of it is unimaginable. For a moment, there's silence and eerie stillness that follows the cacophony of the battle. The dust settles and the Dybbuk, disoriented and seemingly weakened by the blast, falter. Their relentless advance stops.
So they actually stopped the invasion?
Well, not so fast, Adrian. They might have won this battle, but the war is far from over.
What do you mean?
Lex and Zara wake up amidst the wreckage. They're battered and bruised, but they're alive. Father Grigory is there, too wounded but still breathing. But as they look at the remains of the satellite dish, something truly terrifying happens.
Okay, you've got my attention. What is it?
The once pristine metallic structure of the dish is now warped and pockmarked as if something has infected it from the inside out. And then they both hear it, a metallic screech that seems to echo in their minds. It's followed by a vision, a mental image burned into their consciousness.
I'm on the edge of my seat. What did they see?
Imagine the vastness of space sprinkled with stars, and then at the center of it all, a single, cold alien eye staring directly at them.
An alien eye staring at them from across the vastness of space. It sounds like something out of a cosmic horror film.
It seems that by destroying the dish, they attracted the attention of something far more powerful than the Dybbuk's, something ancient and vast that's been watching, waiting for its moment.
This is a major cliffhanger. Julia, we've got a lot to unpack here. Welcome back to the True Alien Podcast, folks. The Pioneer Echoes have led us down a rabbit hole of mystery and terror, and we're about to reach the bottom. Julia, our intrepid trio, just vanquished a horde of malevolent spirits, only to receive a chilling message from a giant cosmic eye. It's enough to make anyone question what's really out there.
That image of the eye is a powerful symbol, Adrian. It taps into our primal fear of the unknown, of being watched by something we can't comprehend. But what does it represent? Is it a threat, a warning, or something entirely beyond our human understanding?
We started this episode talking about the Pioneer Anomaly, a real scientific puzzle. And now it seems to be intertwined with this terrifying story. It's almost like Dr. Smith's research into this anomaly opened a Pandora's box, unleashing these Dybbuk's, and then attracting this entity with the cosmic eye.
It's fascinating how the story weaves real science into a fictional narrative, raising questions about the limits of our knowledge and the potential consequences of our scientific pursuits. What if, in our quest to understand the universe, we stumble upon something we were never meant to find?
Dr. Smith's frantic warnings in her notes, the appearance of the Dybbuk's, and now this cosmic eye, it all seems connected. Do you think Dr. Smith knew what she was unleashing?
It's certainly possible. Her obsession with the Pioneer Anomaly, her isolation, those cryptic warnings, it suggests she might have glimpsed something, a truth that terrified her. Perhaps she saw this eye or sensed its presence and understood the danger it posed.
So what does this all mean? Is Earth now a target for this, whatever it is, with the cosmic eye? Are we facing an alien invasion of a different kind?
That unsettling feeling of being watched, of being marked, is a hallmark of cosmic horror. It plays on our deepest fears of insignificance in the face of the vastness of the universe. The Dybbuk's were terrifying, but they were almost familiar, rooted in human folklore and belief. This eye represents something entirely different, something alien in the truest sense of the word.
That's a chilling thought. What can our listeners take away from this paranormal probe into the Pioneer Echoes?
I think it serves as a powerful reminder that the universe is full of wonders and horrors that we can barely comprehend. It's a vast, mysterious place, and while we strive to understand it, we must also acknowledge the possibility that there are forces at play, mysteries we might be better off leaving unsolved.
It's a reminder that sometimes the pursuit of knowledge can come at a terrifying price.
Indeed.
Well, folks, that concludes our deep dive into the Pioneer Echoes. A big thank you to Julia Jones for lending her expertise to this chilling paranormal probe.
It was my pleasure, Adrian.
And to our listeners, keep your eyes on the skies. You never know what might be watching back. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate and follow the True Alien Podcast for more incredible true alien stories and paranormal probes. We'll be back next time with another mind-blowing journey into the unexplained. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.